Y'all know I like there's like a delay because every time because so for whatever reason, by the way, what's up, y'all? It's me, the Big Hurt. For whatever reason, StreamYard and Instagram don't have like a working uh business relationship. So you actually have to like click go live on Instagram before you can actually go live on Instagram. But then it puts you live everywhere else, like on YouTube, Facebook, and all that. So that's why there's always like, why the fuck is Herc always not ready? I be ready. It's just don't the technology don't be ready. So um don't blame me, blame technology. That's what the old folks do. So the old folks do. If the old folks can do it, I can do it too. So we're gonna blame technology and say it's their fault. But it is another brand new episode of Herc's World. Um, if this is your first time here, why? But I'm the Big Hurt, aka your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, and if she says I'm not, that hoe is a liar. Um, thank y'all for tapping in, tuning in. Last week we finished up our series on dating in 2024. The whole 3 hour episode is up on YouTube. So if you want to go back and you need to kill some time, you can go stream that. Part two is also up there, and then the initial episode is up there too. So if I got nothing else from uh the lives or the episodes, dating in 2024 is ghetto and roguish, and there's piss and poop and all type of just foolishness in the dating pool. But somebody, there's somebody for everybody. And if you don't believe that, shame on you, because there's somebody for everybody and everybody deserves love. So um if I seem distracted, I am because I'm waiting to see why the hell YouTube is not live. So as we're doing that, like, but we are live on Facebook and Instagram. As we're doing that, this week we had a special topic to me, um, and we're gonna talk grief during the holidays. So I'm not gonna just tune it to like regular grief, as far as like if you lost a loved one or something like that, because you can grieve the loss of a loved one, you can grieve the loss of a friendship, you can grieve the loss of a relationship, you can grieve that you lost your job. Like there's grief in everything that we do. So I personally, um I really didn't. I sent a Facebook message to somebody and was like, hey, do you want to talk about grief? And she was like, yeah, I think that'd be cool, and we can do it on this day. So that's what I did. Um, but we're gonna go to break. And when I say go to break, that literally means I'm gonna turn the camera off and figure out why this stuff is not working. Y'all give me about 45 seconds um to figure this out. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back in One Hertz World. All right, welcome back to Herc's, where I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, Big Herc. And if she says I'm not, that hoe is a liar. One day, one day I'm gonna find a better saying for that. Um, until y'all give me one, that's what she is, and y'all's gonna have to deal with that. But I'm gonna shut up and let our amazing, amazing, talented guest come off of mute and introduce herself. So you come on up to the stage now.
Am I in?
You in?
Okay. Hey y'all, I'm Montoya McGowan. I am a psychotherapist and also a boundary coach. I am in Memphis, Tennessee, but I'm an international psychotherapist. I talk
And
to other people everywhere.
oh, so you got a little clout. Okay. Hey, I told y'all when I go get people, I go get people. I didn't even know you were international like that. So kudos to
Hmm.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so let's get straight into it. Grief around the holidays. And like I said, like I said in the beginning, we're not just gonna contain it to the loss of a loved one because grief spans a couple different areas. It could be, like I said, grieving the loss of a friendship, loss of a relationship. You
Hmm.
could be grieving the fact that you lost your dog or you lost your job. I don't know. So how do you usually get your people to talk about what they're feeling around this time of the year?
Usually most people kind of know, or somebody else have told them that you need to talk to somebody. And some of the things that I suggest is one, honoring the relationship that you had with whatever it is that you've lost. I've had people who struggle with their new identity after weight loss
Hmm.
because they're looking at life through first person view, and they've had experiences in this body for so long. Now that they don't have that body, they still have the same thoughts, they still have the same first person view, but people are experiencing them differently. And so, not being able to hide behind clothes anymore, or having to really come into who you are, but being okay with evolving. Grief around the holidays is tough because it's, for many people, it's routines, it's expectations, it's things that we normally do that we're used to, and then we attach a huge meaning to it if that person or that thing is not there around the holidays. For example, me, I'm divorced. And when I got a divorce, for the first 2 years, I was thinking, like, I really miss how Christmas used to be. I miss being married during the holidays. I miss having family time. And then I was like, wait, do I really miss that? Because it wasn't really how I dreamed that it was. Like, really being honest with myself, I was missing what I hoped would happen.
Mm.
It never really happened, but I was still holding on to it. So I had to be okay and be honest with myself with putting it to rest.
Hmm. So that's kind of interesting that you brought up grief, in your own personal life, just because like so this is the first time in 5 years that I'm gonna be celebrating the holidays kind of by myself. Well, not really by myself, but without, my partner. So I don't necessarily. I've been kind of on eggshells, like, oh. who house am I gonna go to? What am I gonna do? And like, like is my invite still, am I still welcome over here? Like, do I want that person to come over here? Like, how do
Yeah.
you deal with that, that different sense um of what you've been so used to. So
Hmm.
but you said you were just kind of you were missing the thought of what you thought it was gonna be, or is that
I'm
what it was?
missing the illusions that I dreamed would happen, because when you experience a loss, every dream that you had that was attached to that thing, like, you can no longer dream about it anymore because it's over. It's done. When you have a loved one pass away, you can't dream about all the places that you're going to go to anymore. And so changing the meaning of the times and giving it a different perspective, and giving yourself, I have a friend, he likes to repeat some of the stuff that I say. And one of them is, he'll say, "Yeah, I gave myself permission to take a nap." So I give myself permission to do stuff, because sometimes we're waiting for other people to give us permission, even if it's just society. So I give myself permission to be okay with, if Christmas is on a Tuesday, then today is just Tuesday. It doesn't have to be Christmas. And I could
Mm,
treat it like a Tuesday.
okay. So for the people that are, because like everybody kind of associates holiday grief with like the loss of a loved one. So
Hmm.
like, hey, Big Mama's not here this year, or Papa's not here, or my cousin, or my favorite cousin is not here, or um, so like when people come to you and say, okay, it's about to be the holidays, and before I ask this question, um, for y'all that's disrespecting Thanksgiving by having y'all Christmas trees up and stuff, God sees you, and he gonna have his way. Just thought
Okay,
I.
so I'm going to be putting my Christmas tree up soon, but that's only because I struggle with time. And sometimes I don't take my tree down until close to Valentine's Day. And so I'm giving myself more days in hopes that I won't keep it up as long this time. That's what I'm sticking to.
Park Square is a safe space, and we're not gonna judge the fact that you said you keep that tree up to almost Valentine's Day. My whole thing is y'all like y'all do realize that there's a whole holiday before Christmas, right?
Skipping
There's a
it.
whole Thanksgiving, like you get together with folks, you give thanks. There's turkey, there's
Look,
ham.
all of us, we on the Ozempic right now. We ain't even eating all that stuff no more.
I, more power to y'all, but y'all take that Christmas tree down. But no, so or don't put the no. Don't put that Christmas tree up. Like wait till Thanksgiving night to put that Christmas tree up, and give Thanksgiving its just due. And I don't know why I be campaigning for Thanksgiving so hard every year. Um, I just feel like y'all be
We
like
be disrespecting it.
Halloween, yeah, like Halloween, Christmas. Like, bro, it ain't even cold yet. Like it ain't even got like a little bit of cold.
Yep.
But no, so when your clients come to you and say, well, hey, so I associate um Christmas with this person, or I associate this memory because this happened. How do you talk them through on not necessarily forgetting, but
Hmm.
because I feel like grief never ever goes away. You just learn to cope with it.
Hmm.
So how do you coach people to kind of deal with it?
Several different ways. A lot of times it just depends on the person and their temperament and their attachment style, the support system or the lack of support system that they have. But a couple of things I suggest is, one, continue to give yourself permission to have conversations with that person or that thing. by way of journaling or texting. Like I've had clients before, I will allow them to text me things that they need to say to other people because our heart doesn't have eyes and our heart can't tell time, but that doesn't mean that your heart doesn't need to have conversations that it needs to have. Almost kind of like, getting rid of a paperweight that's on your heart.
Hmm.
So, giving yourself permission to still have those conversations, your heart doesn't know that you're not talking to that person. And so, if you're journaling and writing it out, your heart assumes that, oh, we giving them the business. And so, giving yourself permission to have those conversations, making plans to have plans, choosing to not be in isolation unless you're cool with isolation and you have plans with isolation. Like I could be at home for 3 or 4 days and have a great, grand old time with myself. But I know after a while, it's time for me to see some sunlight. It's time for me to talk to somebody or leave the house or something like that. And then give yourself the opportunity to explore things that might make you happy, like being okay with evolving past what was.
So, and I was having this conversation with somebody else earlier. Like, so you remember way back when COVID first started,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was like, "Oh, like yeah, we in the house, and um, we're everybody was happy, wasn't really doing no work." Um, the first, I want to say, day and a half, I was good.
Day and a half.
Day and a half. By that second part of that second day, I started like, I need human interaction. Um, I'm kind of tired of looking at these same four walls. I can only play so many games of NCAA or Madden. Um, my partner at the time was starting to get on my nerves. I was like, I need to get outside, and I was like, okay, I'm outside, but like I felt like I needed um another person. So COVID for me kind of made me realize like um I'm a I'm gonna I think that I don't know what the phrase is, but I seek attention and gratification from people. So a people please like an extreme people pleaser because I crave attention, but it also kind of made me sit and realize I don't really like certain people.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you tell people like, hey, I know you crave attention, but you got to kind of sit down and sit with yourself for a while during this time of grief.
I wouldn't say from my perspective, I would say just based off of the little bit that you told me, I would say that that was more of you being an extrovert versus an introvert. And so when the difference between the extrovert and the introvert is just say your energy is a rechargeable battery. Introverts, our battery recharges when we don't have to give emotionally. We don't have to be present. Like we can be in the same room, but I don't have to talk to you or entertain you or keep you company. So extroverts, y'all's battery recharges when you are out there like emotionally connecting and emotionally caring for other people. That is what fills you up. That gives you energy. And sometimes being by yourself drains your energy. And it's the exact opposite for introverts.
Hmm.
And sometimes some people are, I think they call it ambiverts because you're a little bit of both depending on where you are in life and what you got going on and what your obligations are. But if you look at it as a rechargeable battery, then I would say that you are probably an extrovert.
So when so y'all heard her right. So when I be like, hey, come pay me attention, yeah, I'm trying to recharge my battery.
Yeah, you need to get plugged in.
So Don't be looking at me sideways. Herc, we was just at your house 2 days ago. So what? I'm
Mm-hmm.
empty. Come keep me like on Family Guy. Get back here and love me. Um yeah. So are there different types of grief when it comes to I hear people talk about seasonal depression a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something is that a real thing? Is that just
It
something people
is.
made
Yeah.
up? What is that like? Or what is
Seasonal depression is so depression, the way I like to explain depression and anxiety. So the say this is your body, right? And this is your
Mhm.
mind. Depression is excessively worrying about the past to where it keeps you from being in the moment. And anxiety is excessively worrying about the future to where it keeps you from being in the moment. Like we're going to do a little bit of both of them just because we're humans. But when you go too far back or too far ahead, you become disconnected from your body. Your mind can do this, but your body's like, what the fuck you doing? Where we going? We can't go back there and we can't go up there. So what we doing? And so finding ways to be in the moment is a struggle for us sometimes because it don't feel safe. It feels like we're not doing enough to make sure we're doing what we should be doing. And so seasonal depression, because the days are shorter, it gets darker sooner. People have more time to sit in regret. People have more time to sit with themselves, and everybody isn't okay with that. And then so our circadian rhythm, which is our sleep cycle, is affected by the sunlight.
Mm,
I am energized by the sun. So if I go too long without like real sunlight, I really start to feel like I'm about to turn into a gremlin. And so, like getting to know yourself, getting to know your body, knowing what you need, doubling up on your vitamin D, making sure that you have your hormone levels checked, checking your iron, and doubling up on the vitamins that you need that your body doesn't. As we get older, our body doesn't normally make hormones at the rate that it did when we were younger. So we need a little help. And so just knowing that if you struggle with seasonal depression, which is a whole lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda, because you got time to think about the shoulda, woulda, couldas, um, the nights are longer, things get bigger at nighttime. So just coming up with like a winter routine, somebody looking for you, a Bible study, a mastermind, joining a book club, or deciding to go to the gym, or taking on a couple of more projects at work, or doing something with other people. So somebody's looking for you. You can have some type of human interaction.
okay. Um,
Did I answer your question?
you did.
Okay.
No, so I mean that is kind of like what and I don't know if I don't know if I want to just say it's like seasonal depression, but it's like I go through those different phases where um I one day I'll be like super hyper and bouncing around, and then the next day I'll kind of taper off. Then the next day it's like, hey, don't talk to me. I'm in my feelings. Then I'll shoot right back up, come back down, shoot up again and be up for like days, and then gradually just come on all the way back down, be down for like a day, and then shoot right back up.
Mm-hmm.
And folks be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know, it's just how I am during it, like during this time of the year. Like
Mm-hmm.
days are, some days I'm just like really, really on it, and other days I just be like, why are we even here?"
And that could just
Um,
be your winter flow.
hmm, what's okay? So explain that because that sounds interesting.
I just made that up.
Oh,
Um, but no, like so I know in the summertime I'm smaller. I know in the wintertime I'm bigger. So I have a winter wardrobe and a summer wardrobe. instead of me getting rid of it and then beat myself up over not being able to get into some stuff. So knowing that, like, if you know that your episodes kind of go up and down, then you just start to notice them so you can know how to care for them. Like, hey, today is a down day. You know how that fourth day be.
She dropping knowledge, y'all. Like
That's
I
just your
really hope
flow.
y'all are paying attention and y'all are taking these little nuggets and gems to heart, because like these are things that you're gonna deal with um based on the day. Like, some days are gonna be easier than others. Like, um and I know grief is one of those tricky things where you could literally be good all day,
And hear a
and
song.
then you hear a song, you hear a sound. I met somebody like 2 years ago. They uncle passed, and the sound of a gunshot took them there. Not because they uncle, was, killed by gun violence, but because before the uncle passed away, the uncle gave that person his favorite gun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something like as simple as like a gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me with my grandparents, it's certain smells. Like I can't smell certain things, or it's gonna take me. I'm gonna go there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I love peach cobbler. If I smell peach cobbler, like it makes me think of my grandma. Um, if I smell like if I hear somebody just randomly whistle, it could be you could just be whistling something very, very strange that makes me think of my granddad. Um, if I hear or if I see somebody in a Lexus, it could be the cleanest Lexus you ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
But if I see the Lexus emblem, I think about my dad. So it's tricky because anything could allow you to think about that person and take you into that moment. But we're the purpose of the episode is to give you different ways on how to say, okay, I acknowledge that, but how do I move past it to
Mm-hmm.
where I can eventually be okay? Because like I said, grief is just something that's you never get over it. You just learn how to deal.
Yeah, and when it comes to loved ones, grief or loss of a relationship, grief is proof that there was love there. So it's proof that you had the capacity to care for somebody deeply, and you reserved a space for them, and now that space is no longer filled in the way that it used to be. And so changing the meaning of things, you get to decide what things mean. So if you see peach cobbler or you smell peach cobbler, you can be like, oh man, I miss my granny. Or you can be like, yeah, couldn't nobody do better than my granny did, let me taste that and see what's up with it. You can change the meaning to it. The perspective of it is based on the perspective that you choose to land on. And the one that you feed is the one that will grow.
The one that you feed is the one that will grow. Told you I should drop the knowledge. We're gonna go to break. Y'all don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. More Hurts World. Welcome back to Hurts World. I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, Big Hurt. And if she says I'm not, that hoe is a liar.
Liar.
So we are talking holiday grief, man. On this episode of Hurts World. I know that with the holidays approaching, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, um, Martin Luther King, Valentine's Day, we gonna loop them in there.
Just gonna
Um,
do all of it.
yeah, like like the last what November, December, January, February, like it's it's funny because we just did the whole dating in 2024 series. Like after like September, every holiday after September is pretty much geared towards you being, booed up with somebody or, something like that. So if you are in a situation where you're not necessarily grieving a loved one, let's just say you're grieving a failed relationship. What are some ways that you may, explain to people like, hey, um, instead of, out here trying to find the next set of match pajamas, how we gonna heal from that past before you jump into something before you jump into something different?
I have mixed feelings about that because uh, sometimes the only way to heal is in relationship. You can live a quiet, avoidant, or peaceful life, but if you don't have anybody agitating you, then you don't have practice to work on your patience.
Hmm. Yeah, expound on that because now I'm intrigued because
Yeah.
you about to make me be outside for real, for real.
I
Go ahead.
mean, so I'm a professional dater, and I date really to see what I like, to see what works for me. And if that doesn't work for me, then I'm like, "Ooh, I don't think this is a love connection." But you be blessed though. You have a great time. Um, yeah, copy and paste.
A professional dater. Huh. Okay. So,
It's fun. You can have a good time.
okay.
You don't have to be committed to the outcome. I like to see dating as really just fellowshipping, and everybody don't make it to. Well, one of my friends, he said that I date like it's the lemon law. You know how a car got a lemon law? You
Hmm.
got like 2 days to return it. After 3 days, I kind of already know.
Man, hey, if you know in the first 72 hours it ain't gonna work, why you still here, I guess.
Right. And so knowing what your desires and expectations are and sticking to that. So if a person doesn't fit the desires and expectations that you have set for yourself that you feel like you need to be in a relationship or even a friendship, if that person doesn't fit those, then you say, "Oh yeah, this isn't in alignment with what I'm looking for."
So in your opinion, sometimes the best way to get over
Move
a
through.
person or move through a person is to move to the next one.
No. No, to get a life.
Wait, to get a life.
Get a life. Yes. Not even really just to date, but to get a life. Like that is I sometimes when I have a client who is struggling with getting over a relationship, I'll have them pull out their phone and Google like what zip code do you live in? And then says she isn't a cake. What that mean?
I'll explain when you're done.
Okay.
Always my day. It's always the ones.
I'm usually the one playing. I'm usually the one playing. Um, but what was I saying?
The zip code thing.
Okay. So Google how many people live in the zip code that they live in. And then Google how many people live in the county. How many people live in the state, the city, the state, the US? How many people are in the fucking United States of America or in the world? And you're focused on this one person? Like this one person is the only person that can give you the things that you feel like you need. Are we living in scarcity or are we living in abundance?
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
My favorite was you
that's
saying you
exactly
don't
what
have
I'm
to always
saying.
get a test that fun. Okay. Um, so back to the cake comment. Um,
Go on, say it.
all right, so the cake comment is directed to me. Um, because I am, out here in these single streets. Um, my line brothers be like, hurt, have fun, enjoy being single. Don't be baking all these cakes with these different women. And when it don't come to fruition, you be all heartbroken and upset because it didn't work. You're supposed to be out here having fun. You're supposed to be out here and enjoying yourself. Talk to people. Enjoy the moment. So um, they call me a cat.
Mhm. I like that analogy. And
Uh-oh, hold on. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna remove you and bring you back. I go ahead and say something now. Hold on, y'all. We having little technical difficulties. This is there we go. I don't know
okay,
what
I can hear
you.
you now. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. What was I saying?
I was saying something about cake, and that's why they call me a
Oh,
cake.
oh,
And
oh yeah. So I have been seeing quite a few black men come into therapy, and I am extremely, extremely honored to be able to be a safe space for men to, process some of the stuff that y'all normally keep to yourselves. But what I'm finding is y'all suck at having a vetting process. Y'all don't have a vetting process for us until after you get in a relationship, and then you're trying to make us be what you thought we should be. I mean, we do too, but we're not talking about us. We talking about y'all. And so, but mostly guys, y'all will get in a relationship and be like, man, she talked too much. I didn't know she talked this much.
man, it's
It's a
cool in the
lot of stuff you
beginning,
don't like
but
about her, but you in it now. And so you don't want to look like the bad guy by saying, ugh. And so when you said the cake, I thought about, when guys are dating or anybody, you need to know what kind of cake you're looking for. So the cake needs to have certain ingredients in it in order for you to get that. If you like German chocolate cake, you need to be looking for somebody that got pecans and coconut and all the other stuff. But if she ain't got pecans and coconut and you know you want that, why you messing with her?
um, that she got a fat ass.
I know, right? And she can talk real good. But then you realize she can't read without help from the class. Now you embarrassed because she can't read in Bible study. Just twerk for Jesus.
We, you can't twerk for Jesus.
Slow twerk.
Uh, hmm?
Slow twerk.
For Jesus?
You can twerk to a gospel song.
I want to see that. I gotta pay. Look, I won't pay. I won't pay.
I don't know how to twerk, so
I won't pay somebody to look. Twerk,
slow
what,
twerking for Jesus.
how that song goes, twerk it to the front. If you can twerk to a gospel song, I may have a couple of dollars for you.
It's
But no,
possible.
but no, like so it's I like the analogy of like, the different ingredients because it's like but I also feel like when you when you meet people, you're meeting their representative regardless. and you get to um know their representative, and that's who you tend to, gravitate towards. And then all of a sudden, like you said, she slow a little bit, or she talks too goddamn much, or like I thought that gap was cute, but now maybe she need to go see a dentist. I don't know. So it's different things, but like
Mhm.
in that, like I said, like in this season of um, dealing with past relationships and getting over those things, um, like I'm just like I'm kind of in a mind, so okay, well, like damn, like this is the first time in like X amount of years. Um, I don't really know where I'm going.
Mhm.
I don't know where I don't know why. I mean, I know where I'm going now, for Thanksgiving, but like it's like damn, like and even that conversation is different because I was so used to doing something for this amount of years. Now it's like, well, damn, am I still allowed over there? Like,
Yeah.
if I do go over there, like, is it gonna be weird? Is it gonna be, it's supposed to gonna be looking at me sideways?
Mhm.
Has that person moved on to the point where they may bring they new, little yeah to the for the holiday function? And if that happens, how you get up out of there? Are you gonna feel some type of way? Stuff like that.
Sometimes it's just the meaning that you choose to give it. So you can say, I this is the first time that I'm single in a long time, or you can say this is the first time I get to do whatever I want to do in a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, since
it's
we're playing mind games with ourselves, you might as well do it in a way where it works for you. Choose the delusion that works.
you are you are just dropping. Okay, now because now you explain that. How does that work?
Choosing the delusion that works. I had a client a couple of weeks ago. You know that what is the movie that the kids been watching that has the feelings Inside Out too?
Hmm.
One of the girls on there, her name is Delulu. And so my client, she said, I have a picture that I wanted to share with you, and it reminded me of you. And it was a picture of Delulu. And I said, you think I'm Delulu? She was like, absolutely. And I said, you're right, because I've been working on it. I have been working on being delusional. Everything is based on the meaning that we give to it. So choose the delusion that works best for your nervous system. All the
Hmm.
decisions that we make, everything we do is a part of our nervous system. It's either to make us safe or we're connecting. And so we know how to do safety. So practice connection, which is kind of delusional because it doesn't feel normal to us. It feels like we're being careless by saying, I'm just going to go wherever the wind blows.
Hmm.
I
Maybe I'm a
remember,
maybe I'm being a little delulu. I like that.
I'm telling you, it's fun. It's so much fun. Because who can tell you that you shouldn't be?
Can I be toxic and delulu at the same time?
I love toxic. Right? The problem with being toxic is people who don't know that they are doing it. But when you are intentional with what you're doing and you're intentional with why you're doing it and you know the reasons behind it and you're cool with whatever the consequences may or may not be, you're cool with the risk, then okay, have at it because you get to decide. But it's the people that are doing things that don't know that they're doing it that makes toxicity it gives it, I mean, it's a bad rap anyway because to be toxic means to be poisonous.
So I know so I tend I tend to try to tell people I'm toxic, but I know me personally, I can't deal with the consequences of what. comes with being toxic. So,
It's a
you
lot
know,
of karma that come with it too.
yeah, I don't be one. I don't think I can deal with. I'm not able to deal with that part. Um, I can do. I tell you, like, hey, I'm not the person you really want to talk to. Because I'm not playing with a full deck.
Do
Um,
you know somebody who is?
you maybe no.
Not me. Not me.
Okay. Well, hey, I don't know. I don't. Well, no, I'm trying to think about. No, I don't really know too many people that's playing with a full deck.
Because none of us are. We're humans.
So I can't use that excuse no more.
I mean, you
Um,
can. If they don't know any better, you could still use it.
half the folks be see the one thing the mistake I be making is I be telling folks to watch the show and they legit be watching the show and I be telling them stuff and I'm like, well, you said this. Is that now you know I'm a little off. You weren't supposed to find out until
They
after.
already know. They already. You can tell us the truth. We'll lie to ourselves.
Oh, that's true.
If we
Okay,
really want it, we'll lie to ourselves. So you can just be yourself.
okay. Well, so I'd be like, I'm a little toxic. And they're like, well, why you say you toxic? I say, look, um, I don't know what I want. Um, I don't know. I don't know what I want. Don't really know who I am.
Hmm.
And if we just gonna be 100% honest, I'm probably gonna talk to you, and you until I figure out who gonna, give me the most attention because I'm a bit of an attention whore. So if you can deal with that, cool. If you can't, by all means, go about your business, Queen. I'm not gonna stop you. But for whatever reason, folks are like, I can deal with that, but they get mad when I don't text you or I tell you this ain't what I want. How that work?
Because you didn't lead them on, but you also took candy from a baby.
Mm. Hmm. Whenever we have mental health people on the show, I tend to get free therapy because I just be throwing little scenarios and stuff out that I be doing, and y'all just be reading me for reading my rights, and I'm like, okay, I ain't think about it like that, but now that makes sense.
Hmm. And if you don't know what you want, the best place to start is what you don't want. What kind of cake do you not want? What kind of ingredients or what do you? Because if you're out there and you're dating people and you date somebody that's real salty, do you want a salty cake? So you don't need to be dealing with nobody that's salty. I don't care how fine she is. She could still
She's
be
right.
fine and still be the kind of cake that you need.
She's dropping knowledge. See, KV, she's taking my cake and your cake analogy and making it work for me. See,
Hmm.
y'all be calling me a cake for all the now y'all got to call me cake for different reasons because she said it's a good thing, man. Ha 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 ha. But no, so with grief around the
Hmm.
holidays and you're it be your own brothers. Um, with the grief of okay, so a lot of people around this time are not only dealing with the remembering of loved ones or getting over relationships, but I feel like this year has kind of taught a lot of us that some of the people that we have surrounded ourselves with don't have our best interests at heart, or they don't necessarily they're not out to help us grow, and we supposed to leave them in 2024. Not saying they bad people, they just not the best people for what we got going as we evolve.
Hmm.
Um, how would you tell somebody like, hey, like I know that's been your friend since um y'all were like 12, but that
They
person
don't
ain't
they
for
don't
you.
fuck with you. Yeah.
Yeah, they really don't. They don't fuck with you like you fuck with it.
I would say start to pay attention to how you feel about yourself around certain people. When we're around some people, we make ourselves feel small. Why am I making myself feel small? What's going on? What am I experiencing? Why do I feel like maybe I'm not enough to be in this room? Or why do I have to like make myself small to make this person feel okay? And am I okay with that? And can I handle that for another 3 hours? And if you can't, then you come up with some boundaries or exit plan. Decide on what you want your life to look and feel like, and then be courageous enough to start doing it.
The B word again, y'all. We boundaries always in some way, shape, fashion, or forms has been coming up a lot lately. In the last 6 episodes.
Oh yes.
Um, like boundaries are important. Um, so okay, and this is kind of like a relationship question, but it's also dealing with grief and boundaries. Are boundaries different from non-negotiable?
Mm-mm. Mm.
Same thing.
So I'm a boundary coach.
Okay.
On social media, I'm the bougie black therapist, bougie boundaries therapist, and I say that because most of the people that I see are people pleasers. I call them Jesus Juniors, or people who are the strong friend. Right. We're the go-to person for everybody. We're the plug, the liaison, the crisis management coordinator, and it's because we know so many different things, and us adding value to somebody else's life makes us feel valuable. But after a while, it becomes exhausting, and we don't want it to be a part of our identity, but we've created that identity. And so, giving yourself permission to have desires and expectations without them making sense to anybody else.
Repeat that one more time.
Giving yourself permission to have desires and expectations without it making sense to anybody else. My birthday is on Christmas. My kids, when I got a divorce, they would spend Christmas Eve with me, and then Christmas morning and Christmas Day with me, and then their dad would come and get them around noon, and I wouldn't see them until maybe a day or so, until it was time for school to start back. So for the most part, I spent Christmas by myself because my family, they celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, so that everybody could do what they want to do on Christmas or go to see other families. And so I had to sit with myself and figure out, what do I want to do with this time that I have to myself? Do I want to sulk, or do I want to do some delusional shit? And so one time I went to Africa the day after Christmas.
We just up and going to Africa?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So while my kids were gone, I spent the holidays in Ghana.
Hmm. Okay.
Cause why not?
I mean, if you got the funds and the means, why?
Other
Why not go
countries,
to?
they don't heavily celebrate holidays the way we do. So their holidays don't have the heavy meaning to it the way we add meaning to what Christmas is. And if you don't come to Thanksgiving, then you don't care about your mom. People are exhausted. When you have kids, you're trying to go to your auntie house that raised you. You're trying to go to your grandma's house and your mama's house. And after a while, you're just like, we really want to just be at home. But it's not okay for you to do that, because then
Oh,
you acting funny.
look. I know I was talking like, hey, I got it. The last 2 years, I didn't want to deal like I didn't want to deal with that. So I was like, hey, the food will be ready by 3. We'll go over there at 4, eat a plate, make a couple to go plates. We out of there by 5:30. Well, y'all didn't come to yeah, because I not that we don't like y'all. It's just exhausting because
Yep.
like you said, you going to this person's house, you going to that person's house, then you got, like Thanksgiving is as hard as I be campaigning for Thanksgiving. I legit just want to sit in the house
Mhm.
with a drink in my hand, watch football, and just hang out. Cause like it's so much other stuff that I'd rather be doing. But like they want you to come here, bring this, bring that. That's why I'm like, that's why I feel like Friendsgiving is gonna be my thing for the rest of my life
Mhm.
because it's real low maintenance. Like,
It
hey,
is.
y'all know me, I know y'all. We ain't got to do all the extra stuff. We legit just come together, hang out. We can play cards, we can watch movies, we could decorate the tree, whatever we gonna do.
Mhm.
Um, because and I don't know if it's just like a coping mechanism for grief for me, because but I'd rather be around my friends sometimes. Like, but not saying I don't love my family, but I like my friends too. And then holidays don't necessarily feel the same like they used to.
No, they don't.
Um,
They're very commercialized.
so it's like you want me to spend hundreds of dollars on XYZ, and we ain't even gonna see each other till next year. Because
Mhm.
you don't mess with me, and I really don't mess with you, but we
Mhm.
family. So,
Yep.
but no, like I legit like Friendsgiving. Uh, I don't know what the equivalent of Friendsgiving is for Christmas. But that might be the move because
Yeah.
holidays holidays and dealing with grief and seasonal depression are enough in itself. Then you can add on top the added pressure of, if like you said, if you don't show up to uh this person's house, you really don't fool with them. Or
Mhm.
if or if so and so got roaches, you really don't want to go to the house no way. But y'all let so and so host host the dinner. Now you got to shake your damn clothes out for you going to have. Ain't time for that.
I had stopped going to a Thanksgiving gathering, annual Thanksgiving gathering, because I got tired of rotating chairs. Like it's 20 of us in here, and we're sharing 4 chairs. I don't want to stand up and eat.
How that work? Because that don't even like we couldn't buy no more. Like we ain't got no folding chairs. We okay. I'm just I'm just asking questions.
And some places, if you don't get there on time, then you gonna miss out on getting some of the food because the people that make the to go plates, they've already got half of the food and got the to go plate. So you scraping the bottom of the green bean pot. I don't want to do that.
So what? So okay, because your birthday's on Christmas, um, because you have older kids now, right?
Hmm.
So what do you do? Like, so what do you do for your? What have you done for your birthday the last couple of years?
Go on a trip.
Can I go this year? Where we going?
I'm not going anywhere this year. I decided that I want to have like pajama night or movie night.
I got red bananas.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, look. I'm good for a good movie and a pajama. Pajama day.
I like to make bucket lists, things that you want to do and things that I want to experience with other people. And I just kind of use that as my guide, as what I want to do and how I want my holidays to look. I also had to, because my birthday is on Christmas, I had to change the meaning of it for myself and not make it so big. Because if people can't show up for me, does that mean that I don't have value? No, it just means that I have a birthday that's competing with everybody else's holiday plans, and so it's okay.
So um what does Christmas mean for you? Or what does the day mean for you now?
Just a day for me to celebrate. Being alive, turning another year older, having the opportunity to do more things. Um, Christmas, I don't really like spend a lot of money and stuff on Christmas anymore. I prefer experiences over material stuff. And the experience could just be with myself. Remember two Christmases, maybe three Christmases ago where everybody had COVID
Hmm.
around Christmas time? We all were at home. I was at home by myself,
Mm.
but I had a great time though.
Hmm.
I got all my stuff is there. I have movies, Facebook. I like to play on social media. I like to be silly. It's always something to do. You just have to decide to do it.
She does like to play on social media because she was the one that told me after I slid in somebody DM, which I did as a joke. Um, I had to. It was like two other steps before I called. I can't remember what said steps were, but she was the one that told me, yeah, you got to do this, this, and this, and then you can call. And I was like, that makes sense.
Oh, I'm super toxic after 5. Yes. If you
Okay,
want
we
some
like that.
toxic advice, I got you.
I mean, maybe this is why we decided to record this show live after 5 because we knew we were gonna get some knowledge, but we was gonna be a little toxic too. And
Yeah.
it ain't nothing wrong. It ain't nothing wrong with a little toxicity.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like you need that in your life to
He's
kind of spice
spicy.
things up, right?
Hmm.
Spice things up. So we're gonna go to break. Y'all don't go nowhere. Stay tuned for more Hertz. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hertz, where I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, Be Hurt. And if she said I'm not, that hope is a
Liar.
liar.
She lying. She lying.
Even my guest be trying to tell y'all. But y'all don't be wanting to listen. Anyway, um, so we've been talking holiday grief, and how to deal with it. So there's a couple different ways that um Montoya has given y'all as far as like, hey, give it a different meaning. Be a little toxic, have fun with it, set concrete boundaries, um, get with it and roll with it. Like if you going through a breakup, hurt, um, that don't mean you're not gonna be okay. Just find somebody else to spend it with. So if anybody wanna come to Friendsgiving, um, slide in my DM, I'll give you the address. Anyway,
Another thing
let's
is, give yourself permission to be sad. Give yourself permission to have a pity party. It should have an end time. Like if your pity party starts at 7, it should end, at midnight or the next day. So like, give yourself permission to really be in your feelings. Um, our negative feelings that we avoid, if we really allowed ourselves to feel it in the moment when it shows up, they only last for like 90 seconds, but we suppress it so much it lasts for days and weeks and months and years, when you could just let yourself just have a little, like, ride the wave of whatever comes up, and then just be okay with whatever happens after that.
allow yourself to be sad. Cool. I told y'all she's dropping fucking knowledge and being toxic. All right, so we gonna get real toxic because we gonna put you on the hot seat.
Okay.
Now, we're gonna use a couple pop culture references to see how you would actually deal with certain things. So, let's take Chloe and DDG, for example. Now, for everybody that don't know, hey, don't, hey, I like to eat, so I'm coming. All right, so for everybody that doesn't know, they broke up or whatever they were doing. They're deciding to co-parent is what we gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and DDG went on a podcast or a live stream with Consent, and Chloe put out a tweet and was like, "It would have been nice to know where my baby was gonna be, as opposed to finding out with the whole world." And of course, later she deleted the tweet, but then after that, um, DDG was seen with some random chick on laying on the couch, and she was just like, everyone's like, "Oh my god, like why, why ain't you gonna say something?" And Chloe was like, "I really didn't like him. I wanted to talk to his friend, but here we are." Do you want to be Chloe's therapist or you want to be DDG's therapist?
Let me be Chloe's therapist.
Would you have told her to delete that tweet? Yes or no?
I would not have told her to do anything with the tweet, because whatever she needed to do, that's what she needed to do. But I would have talked to her about why she felt the need to make that tweet. When you're co-parenting, when your baby is not with you, or your child is not with you, who they are with really ain't your business. Because if you trust your partner to make sure that your child is okay when they are with them, if you are going to monitor who they're with and what they're doing and why they're doing it, then you might as well keep your baby with you. You trying to babysit the babysitter. So if I trust that my kids, my kid's dad will make sure that they are safe with him, I have to trust that whoever he chooses to have them around, that he's going to make sure that they're okay. You can't co-parent. That's like, to me, that's like what they call them, the passenger drivers.
The backseat drivers.
Yeah, you can't do nothing from over there. You just frustrating yourself. And that is an unpopular opinion, but it's really not your business.
Huh. Um. Okay. It was actually Hallie, not Chloe. Sorry,
Okay.
Hallie. But no. So I guess I'm different. Um. I don't really care who you date after me. Like if we got like who am I to tell you what to do at your house? I don't live there no more. I ain't there. It ain't my business. Um, so I guess like yeah, whoever you decide to be around or have around your kid is your business. As long as the kid is okay. Um, I just feel like because we live in a social media world now, everything is really really over marginalized and made bigger than what it really is supposed to be. Um, so it's just too much. Like why? Like don't tweet that, man. Like if Shorty was sleep on the couch and he just happened to be right there, or they talking now, that's their business. As long as your kid good, you should be good.
But also at the same time, we have to remember that so much in life on social media is sensationalized. And you know, they celebrities get paid to make certain posts, they get paid to make certain tweets, and just like us, we're trying to get a dollar too. So anything they post, if it gets a lot of traction, then they're probably going to be financially compensated for it.
I agree.
So you can't really put a whole lot of weight into it, but at the same time, when you're co-parenting, you have to trust that your co-parent is going to make sure that your kids are safe. You can't monitor what they're doing at his house. You can try, but you're only just gonna frustrate yourself. So you might as well keep the kids at home.
Because then you're gonna be hollering, "I need a break," and when you don't get no break outside of these kids, well, I tried to take them off your hands, but you was
You
worried
don't want my
about,
girlfriend around them.
right. You don't want my girlfriend to do her hair or do nothing. Or you don't want my
Nah,
boy. You don't want my boyfriend to teach him how to, shoot ball. It'd be y'all fault sometimes.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Because we're not emotionally stable enough to handle us not being together. And I don't trust that you'll do the right thing when I'm not around. But either way, it ain't your business. I mean, it's not the woman's business. When the same way when the kids are with me, it's not really your business who I have them around. I don't have to introduce you to who I have around them. I don't need your permission to have our kids around somebody. I just need you to trust that I'm gonna make sure that they're safe to the best of my ability.
Makes sense. Okay. Here's one. Um, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna insult that man because I guess he's technically about to be the president of the United States again. Um, for every so okay, and I was having this conversation with somebody else earlier. In the early like '90s, well, the late '90s, early 2000s, it was kind of cool to mention Donald Trump in your songs, and he was like one of the homies. Like everybody kind of liked him. Then when he kind of when he ran for president the first time, and he was out here grabbing pussies and saying crazy stuff, everybody was kind of like, "Damn, is that what he really? Like, I don't like him no more. He's promoting racism and all this, and bigotry and all this other stuff." And not saying he isn't because that's what he's doing. But how do we give it? How do you? How if a client came to you and said, um, or if you were Donald Trump's therapist, you were in the early '99, early in the early days, you were loved by or liked by the black community. Now most of us can't stand.
Hmm.
How would you help him with it?
I mean, does he want help or is he okay with that? I think Donald Trump follows the 48 laws of power to a T. His loyalty is to himself. His loyalty is to the
Mm,
outcome, and he is willing to do whatever works with whoever it works for. I don't think he has a loyalty to anybody other than to himself.
I can see that.
He just knows how to win people. Remember, what was the show that he was on? The celebrity show.
The Celebrity Apprentice or something like that,
Yeah,
or
Celebrity Apprentice. Oh, people loved him because he was raw. He was real. You know, he didn't hold things back. But and that's because he knows how to persuade people, and he doesn't care about who is butthurt about it afterwards. His agenda is his agenda, and so you either get with it or you're gonna get stepped on.
I'm not condoning the guy, but hey, teach his own.
Hmm.
Um, he's here for the next 4 years, I guess. Um, and if y'all clip that part, That is not an endorsement for Trump. No, I'm not saying he's great. He's a great guy. All I said was you should take your ass out there and vote it, and why went out to deal with that. But that's a different stop. That's a different topic for a different day. Because if y'all would have did what we supposed to do, like we did in 2020, his ass wouldn't. Never mind. Anyway, let's see what else. Let's do one more. Let's go. Well, Kim, that's your fault because you knew Kanye wasn't making no damn sense. Kim K says she's basically raising her kids by herself because Kanye not helping. And I don't even think Kanye really not helping. He just
Not helping the way she want him to help.
right, like he. Well, I mean, would you want an emotionally unstable person sometimes around your kids? Because every time I see Kanye and I see him with Northwest, they be happy, they be smiling, they look good. So I wonder what he not doing. Let's look.
Kim seems like one of those women who wants to monitor what the dad is doing when he's not with them. Why are you talking to her like that? She shouldn't be eating that. Why did you let her wear that? Where are y'all going? Who's over there with you? Trying to control the atmosphere at somebody else's house. And so if you don't do how I think you should do it, then you're not gonna have access to them.
Huh. I can see that. She said okay, she said, I think you and I mostly connected on parenting and judgment. And feeling like sometimes you're in this alone, even though we have great support systems and people around us. She added, but sometimes in the middle of the night when they're all sleeping in your bed, kicking you and crying and waking up, it's not something that I talk about a lot because I feel like there's always a lot of judgment or people always will jump to the but you have the resources to have nannies and to have help. And I just think that no matter what kind of help I have, I'm basically raising four kids by myself. So then she goes on to say she has a detail. She detailed her busy morning routine with her children. Even carpools in the morning. That she has to take five kids, and everybody wants to leave at different times or with different stuff. And I feel like I'm a pit stop or a race car driver. That's just like normal parent shit.
Welcome to momhood,
Yeah, like
dadhood. Welcome.
yeah, like that
Be
don't sound
grateful
bad.
that you have the money to pay for resources to help you versus you doing all of that shit on your own.
Sound like
And
she's
you
complaining to
have
me.
four kids by him, so you have four opportunities.
You could have stopped after the first two, maybe even first one. You know, but hey, I don't. Y'all know her world is a no judgment place. We're not judging her. We're just saying,
Be realistic.
yeah, because it could be a whole lot worse. You could not have the money or the for nannies and all that stuff,
Hmm.
and you got to deal with uh a dad who ain't really helping you, or a mom who ain't sugar honey iced tea, um, or not even letting you see your kids. So it could be worse.
But at the same time, though, I understand her sentiments. I understand what she's saying. You still want an emotionally healthy co-parent to help you parent the kids so you don't feel like you're having to teach and learn all at the same time. I went to a conference a month ago, and one of the people were talking about how she was feeling resentful because her mom was nicer to her kids. And she said, why do grandparents turn into different people? And one of the other people there said, because we have capacity now. When we were parenting you, we didn't have the same capacity that we have now. We were in the midst of the struggle. We were learning and growing and figuring out together. But now that I'm a grandparent, I'm not in that phase anymore. So I'm able to be more present. I'm not having to work. I'm not having to stress about things that I'm experiencing outside the home and still making sure that you have the things that you need.
Mama, when you watch this, um, I still feel some type of way because you treat all your grandkids way better than you treat me, and I'm your only child. So, um,
Because she has capacity now.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm still, yeah. I'm one of them. I don't care. Um, she still no. I mean, she may have capacity, but grandparents get real soft. It'd be
Super soft, like
it,
ridiculously soft.
like if I'd have said half the stuff that if I'd even thought half the of asking for half the stuff my kids asked my mama for, she'd have looked. I've been cussed out 3 times by now. But her grandkids ask her something. Well, baby, let me see what grandma see what she can do.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you for $20 yesterday. You told me you ain't had it.
Mm-hmm.
She asked you for double when you gonna see what you can do.
Mm-hmm. Because she don't want her to go without. You can figure
I'm
it
your
out. She
child.
can't.
I'm your child, lady. I get it. All right, last one. Um, hmm, you know what?
And thinking about grief, um, it it comes up a lot during this season when we think about the things that we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes remembering to shift your focus to gratitude. It feels very small, but it's one way that you can rewire your brain when you start to look for gratitude. You start to look for the small things that matter because what you feed is the one that grows.
You got to repeat that one because that was another not. It was some more knowledge. Go ahead.
What you feed is the one that grows. So focusing on gratitude, focusing on, you know, and the other thing about Kim is I don't know how much she makes, like a couple $1 million for every post that she makes, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think she does. She makes a ridiculous amount of money for every post. And so, choosing to focus on gratitude, the things that you're grateful for. I know I don't have this, but I do have all of these other things. The thing that you feed is the one that grows, and we have something called a reticular activating system. It's our subconscious. And when you buy a car,
Hmm.
you start seeing that car everywhere, the same year, make, and model. And that's because now your subconscious knows that this exists, so it starts looking for more proof that it exists.
Mm.
So when you start to focus on gratitude, your mind starts to look for more proof that other things for you to be grateful for exist. And you're rewiring your brain to look for the good, even though you know the negative is there.
Rewire your brain, y'all. That's how you're gonna get through this season of dealing with
Hmm.
grief.
Hmm.
Rewire your brain to gratitude, to be thankful, to be appreciative of the good times and the things, the memories that you share, and that'll help you get through uh this time. Dropping fucking knowledge, man. We're gonna go to break. We coming up to my favorite part of the show. We'll be right back and more Hurt Squad. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Hurt Squad. I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, Big Hurt, and if she says I'm not, that harlot is a liar. All right, so we have come to my favorite part of the show. It is songs you know you should not have been singing as a kid. This is any song you know. I'm talking about word for word, ad lib, front, back, side to side, that you can sing full out, but you know you should not have been singing this song before the age of 18. Um, it could be a country song, it could be a blues song, it could be R&B, it could be
You just
rap.
want to know the song?
I just want to know the song.
Juicy Fruit. Like juicy, juicy fruit.
Well, I get wait, maybe so. When you said that, I was like, okay. I remember the sample. I don't think I've ever listened to the actual song.
Mm.
We're gonna do that. I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna listen to the actual song. Um, because but I've heard that it's a little out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then, what's the other song? You can have a piece of my love.
uh, guy,
Yeah,
yeah,
that that's a song about cheating.
yeah, whole side dude, yeah,
Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah.
mm-hmm, yep. Yeah, I didn't know that he was talking about being a side dude and cheating on his girl. They were not talking. They were not talking about gum. Talking about some. They were talking about gum and juicy fruit. They were not talking about gum.
Actually,
Uh,
that's why I liked Juicy Fruit because I thought they was talking about gum.
mm-mm. They were not talking about gum.
Me and Tierra on the same page.
Mm-mm. All right. This week's song from me. We on YouTube. They might flag it. I don't really care because I kind of just want to hear the intro, and it already knew what I was talking about. Thank you, Apple Music. Um, this week's song is I'm not gonna tell y'all. Y'all are gonna hear it, and y'all automatically gonna know what it is. So here we go.
I don't hear anything.
Uh, if you don't know what that was, you are probably too young
Mm-hmm.
to be listening to Hearst World. Um, but that was let me reconnect my Bluetooth before I get in trouble. That was Akanel. And that is this week's song. You know, you should not have been singing as a kid. Why do I know that song? Because I have older brothers and older cousins who let me listen to the music whenever I wanted to. So if you don't know, go just type in, put it in. Predictive text will finish the rest. It is Aquanel. The nigga mouth. So we gonna cut our last break. We'll be right back from one Hurst. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Hurst, where I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, The Big Hurt. And if she says I'm not, that hoe is a liar. We have come to the end of the episode. Man, I just want to take this opportunity to thank Miss Montoya for coming in, joining me, giving us the tips and tricks on how we can deal with this holiday grief thing, how to get through this season. the best way we can, not necessarily. And we want to move forward in one piece and get to know ourselves better. So hopefully y'all took something from this episode on how to deal with the different griefs and how to deal with certain things. If you didn't, go back and listen to it again because you missed something. She dropped gems all goddamn show. Um, so we're gonna get up out of here now. Before we get up out of here, this is the part where you tell the people where you can be found if you want to be found,
Hmm.
anything you got coming up that you want to promote, and then a quote that you live by.
A quote that I live by. Um, I am on Facebook as Montoya McGowan. I'm on Instagram as the Bougie Boundaries Therapist, and my website is stoppingthechase.com. And I don't have anything coming up now, but next September I am hosting a retreat in Bali. It's a 7-day retreat in Bali. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, we need passport stamps. We gotta knock stuff off the bucket list. um, and right now, my favorite is just be the delusion that works best for your nervous system.
Be the delusion that works best for your nervous system. Fellas, I, I would usually tell y'all to slide in folks' DMs, but if you ain't got
Don't
no
slide in
pass,
my DM.
if you ain't got no passport, I wouldn't do it.
Don't.
Bali?
I've been to Ireland. Last year, I went to Ireland, Spain, Ghana, Mexico. I think I went to Mexico twice. I just like to see what the world has. I just like to see how other people live. It is self care for me, and it also helps me see that there's other ways of doing stuff. It's other ways of doing life. It's other ways of thinking. The things that we're anxious and worried and fearful about, you know, people in other countries, they don't. They have their own set of issues, but you don't have to be on guard the way we have to be here.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Not a problem. I'm glad you're having fun. As the church folks say, the doors of Hertzburg are always open whenever you want to come back. And kick it with us. For you, I'll take you off the stage.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
All right, so man, this is episode 97, which means we are 3 episodes away from 100. Um, I told y'all in the very, very beginning that I saw a quote that if you can get to 100 episodes of your podcast, it'll be sustainable and you'll have longevity. So we are 3 episodes away from 100. Um, the 100th episode is already in planning. I just have to get the date and line it up with the guest. But this is episode 97. Um, what we got coming up? Oh, Thanksgiving is at my crib for the first time ever. If you want to pull up, inbox me for the address. I might give it to you. Um, as you can see above my head, commercial spots start at $25. If you want to promote your business, you want to promote your brand, you want to promote you leaving your baby mama, you want to promote you leaving your baby daddy, you want to just have a commercial that says Hurt is the greatest podcaster in the world, and I just love him. We can do that too. So just whatever you're trying to promote, anything you're trying to get out there, email me at hertzworld24@gmail.com. We'll make it happen. I'll send you the stuff that we need, and then we'll make it happen. Um, we got a couple exciting things coming up that I can't really talk about just yet, but just know that episode 100 is coming. Um, Perks will be in more places pretty soon. So you'll be able to see me in a whole different capacity here pretty soon. And that is about it, man. As always, if you don't work, you don't eat. You gotta crawl if you can walk, walk before you can run, and man, run before you can fly. And so the next time you see my face, hear my voice, remember, stop disrespecting Thanksgiving. Be thankful for what you have. Enjoy your people, enjoy your life, enjoy your family. Um, if you see me in the street speak, I have oh, before I forget, um, yes, I've been in the gym heavy. Yes, I'm getting smaller. Yes, if you want to slide on my DM, it is open. That is for one person in particular. She already has the number. You need to send me a text message. You know who you are. Um, that's all I got for y'all. And so, until next week when we drop episode 98. I love y'all. Perk.